Toyota's revolutionary new engine is set to change the game forever. Toyota has been on a roll lately, and their recent successes have been nothing short of phenomenal. They've already created a whole new market in the industry brand with their cutting-edge hydrogen cell-powered cars, which are becoming increasingly popular by the day. But that's not all. Toyota is taking things to the next level by developing an all-new way of using hydrogen in vehicles. Their latest innovation involves creating an internal combustion engine that uses hydrogen as fuel. Can you believe it? This engine works in a way that has never been seen before, and we can't wait to share all the juicy details with you. Why is Toyota doing this, you ask? The answer is simple: to stay ahead of the game and remain on the top of their field. Toyota is always striving to innovate and push the boundaries of what's possible, and this new engine is no exception. So, is it better than what Tesla currently has? Well, we'll let you be the judge of that. Join us as we take a deep dive into Toyota's all-new hydrogen engine that has shocked the entire car industry. Get ready to be amazed. From the legendary Toyota Prius, which remains the best-selling hybrid of all time, to the newest creation, the Toyota bZ4X, Toyota has always been in the forefront of innovation and technology. It all started with the Toyota Prius, which kickstarted the electrified vehicle craze and led to the accelerated development and rise of customer interest in fully electric vehicles. However, Toyota made a bold decision to stick to their hybrid and traditional vehicles for as long as they could. That is, until they entered the EV segment with their Toyota bZ4X, a move that surprised many. But don't be fooled. Toyota's CEO Akio Toyoda doesn't believe that EVs will beat out hybrids and traditional internal combustion engines anytime soon. In fact, Toyota has been developing their own alternative to EVs, fuel cell electric vehicles, or hydrogen cell-powered cars. The primary benefit of fuel cell electric vehicles is that they use the most abundant element in the entire universe: hydrogen. And the best part? They don't pollute as much during their production process, as batteries used in typical EVs are much weaker and require less lithium. Plus, unlike internal combustion engines, fuel cell electric vehicles don't pollute while being used, as they are essentially an EV. The original Toyota Mirai was considered a technological marvel when it first came out in 2014. And even though it was technically exclusive for the Japanese market and California, it became so popular that Toyota spawned a second generation in 2020 that has been released worldwide. In fact, even the most famous Top Gear presenter, James May, owns one. But Toyota isn't the only player in the hydrogen cell-powered car game. Companies like Honda and Hyundai have also been making their own FCEVs, while Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz have announced plans to produce their own. But Toyota isn't content with just being at the forefront of the FCEV game. They've recently made a groundbreaking discovery that can change the way we think about hydrogen cell-powered cars forever. Toyota has ventured into converting internal combustion engines to using hydrogen as propellant, a move that has proved to be quite fruitful for the company. Not only have they converted their beloved 1.6 turbocharged 3-cylinder engine found in the Toyota Corolla GR and the Yaris GR into using hydrogen instead of fossil fuels, but they've also started a joint venture with Yamaha to produce a hydrogen-powered 5.0-liter V8 engine. But how does an internal combustion engine that runs on hydrogen work? Toyota has been leading the way in this revolution, with their latest development being a 1.6 turbocharged 3-cylinder engine that runs on hydrogen instead of traditional fossil fuels. But how does it work? Well, it's surprisingly similar to vehicles that run on compressed natural gas, with a specially designed tank that can withstand the high pressure of the hydrogen gas. The engine itself requires some modification to its components to handle the gas, but once it's up and running, it produces no CO2 emissions and delivers the same amount of power as a traditional engine. But the benefits don't stop there. Hydrogen-powered engines are more practical than both electric and hydrogen cars, as they have a higher range and can be refueled in just 1.5 minutes. Compare that to the lengthy charging times of electric cars. Plus, they're completely mechanical, meaning they can be repaired and maintained in the same way as traditional engines. But the real game changer is the sustainability factor. These vehicles don't rely on non-renewable resources to run or be manufactured, making them a truly green and sustainable option for the future of transportation. Plus, as the technology for processing hydrogen advances, the cost of refueling these vehicles could become extremely cheap. So, would you consider buying a car that runs on hydrogen? It's definitely worth considering, especially when you factor in the joy of driving an internal combustion engine car. And with more and more car manufacturers jumping on board, including Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz, it won't be long before these cars become a common sight on the roads. If you're a car enthusiast, you know that the sound of a finely tuned engine is music to your ears. And when it comes to the hydrogen-powered Toyota engines, they don't disappoint. The 1.6 three-cylinder is like a beautiful little symphony, and its hydrogen-powered cousin sounds just as good, if not better than the petrol-powered version. It's a meaty sound that'll make any petrol head grin from ear to ear. And with the upcoming collaboration between Toyota and Yamaha, we can expect even more incredible sounds to come from their engines. A 5.0 V8 producing 450 horsepower and revving up to 6,800 RPM. It's going to be a real symphony, a masterpiece of engineering. And let's not forget that Yamaha has a proven track record of creating fantastic engines, from the legendary 2JZ to the V10 found in the Lexus LFA. So if you're looking for an unforgettable driving experience, keep an eye out for these new hydrogen-powered engines. They're going to be something special. But despite its success, there are still some issues with using hydrogen as a propellant. For one, hydrogen is highly flammable, which means that safety is a major concern. There is also the issue with infrastructure, as there are currently not many hydrogen refueling stations around. And while hydrogen can be produced using renewable energy sources, the current method of production still largely relies on non-renewable sources. That being said, the potential benefits of using hydrogen as a propellant are hard to ignore. With no CO2 emissions and the ability to be produced sustainably, hydrogen-powered vehicles have the potential to revolutionize the automotive industry. And with companies like Toyota, BMW, and Mercedes-Benz investing in this technology, it's clear that the future of transportation is headed toward a cleaner, more sustainable direction. While it is true that hydrogen-powered IC engines have the potential to revolutionize the way we think about transportation, there are still a few bumps in the road that need to be addressed. For starters, let's talk about safety. Hydrogen is an extremely flammable and explosive gas, which means that any vehicle powered by it is essentially a ticking time bomb on wheels. And while it's true that the hydrogen-powered Yaris GR-H2 might sound like a symphony, the truth is that this type of engine comes with some serious safety concerns that can't be ignored. But that's not all. Hydrogen is also notoriously difficult to process and store, which means that the infrastructure necessary to support a large-scale switch to hydrogen-powered IC engines simply doesn't exist yet. And while it's true that hydrogen-powered vehicles don't produce any CO2 emissions, the process of extracting and processing hydrogen is far from environmentally friendly. So, while hydrogen-powered IC engines might seem like a dream come true at first glance, the reality is that there are still plenty of obstacles that need to be overcome before this technology can become a viable alternative to EVs and traditional vehicles. Despite the fact that they emit no CO2, these engines have their own set of issues, including the emission of large amounts of nitrous oxide, which is a pollutant. And while this can be reduced by increasing the amount of air needed for combustion, it also means a weaker engine that requires more fuel, making it less economical. For now, though, we'll just have to wait and see what Toyota and other manufacturers can come up with next. Thank you for watching our video on the potential of hydrogen-powered internal combustion engines. While there are still many challenges and limitations to this technology, we believe that continued research and development could lead to a more sustainable future for the automotive industry. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on the latest innovations in the world of cars. See you in the next video.